So Gravity Forms is one of the stronger and easier to use contact forms right now that is for WordPress. It's easy to use, it's easy to customize, easy to remove fields, add new fields, customize fields, what you want them to say, how you want them to interact, just everything about it is just very simple to use, but still it's very strong plugin. So let's say we have a page and we have a nice open area where we want to throw in a nice contact form, something simple, name, email, phone, and like a message field that they can have any comments or questions, something like that. So when we want to do that, we want to create a new contact form. So if we go to the forms area, if we go to our WordPress dashboard, over on the left you'll see this little hexagon icon looking thing, and that is the Gravity form icon. So just click Forms. Now if you already have a form created, it'll show up in this list. If you still haven't created one and you're starting fresh, you can click the little link here that says create one, or go up to add new, or just do new form on the left hand side here. So let's just add a new form. We'll title it, let's do just default contact form, and the description's not really needed. You don't need to. There's an option when you input a form, you can choose if you want it to show the title and the description. So we'll just put, this is a simple contact form, create form, and it'll save it, and then it'll redirect you to the area where you create your form. So from here, this is where we start just clicking and dragging anything that we want in our form. So we can start with just a simple name field. That would probably be in the advanced. You can either click it, or you can click and drag, and it'll bring it right over here. And you can even customize this to have first, middle, last, prefix or suffix, whichever you want it to be. And you can also tell if you want it to be required. If you want someone to make sure that they do fill out that field, that you need to click that required option. So if they leave it out and they try to submit the form, it'll say, error, this wasn't filled out. So we've got our name in there. Let's go ahead and add an email, and let's make that required. So they have to have a name and an email. Let's do a phone field, and we don't really need that required. We just kind of want to have a simple email contact form, so we'll leave that unchecked. And let's just put in a simple maybe like a checkbox where you can ask someone questions and say, check all that apply. Let's see, field label. Let's just say, see what kind of work they need done. Maybe, what work do you need done? And let's have the first choice, maybe some graphic design, maybe some programming done, maybe just some simple tweaks. So there we go. We gave the people some options, and they can check those if that's kind of something that they need done, and we don't really need that to be required. That'll just be something that they want. So we'll do that, and let's just throw in a paragraph text box down at the end. This is like a bigger area where people can type more that they want in there, and then the label we'll just put questions or comments, and we'll have that required so that we want them to at least say something about why they're contacting us. So what we have now is the name, email, phone, just a little checkbox field, and questions or comments field. And if that's all we want for our form, we'll just hit update form, and now we have our form that's saved. So we can go back to the forms and check it out, make sure it's there. Yep, so we got the contact form there, and from here you can actually see how many people have viewed it and how many people have submitted it, and it'll give you like a conversion percentage, converting views to entries and see what percent of people that view your contact form actually fill it out. So that's a cool little feature. Now from here we want to know who the emails are going to, and that is within the settings. So if we click settings on the form that we want to change, this is just the basic form settings, like the label placement. If we want that to show to the left or to the top of where the fields are, we'll show you that when we go out to the page. And then confirmations, this is where you can say the little message that pops up when someone submits it. You can customize that saying thanks for filling out the form, we'll be in touch with you shortly. That's like the default thing for that, and you can edit that the way you want it. And notifications is where you can set the emails that go to like what admin or certain people. So you can send to the admin email of your WordPress site, or you can actually add in multiple emails. So if you want 5 to 6 people receiving a notification from this, you can put in an email, and I believe you just put a comma and then put in the next email, comma, next email, and so forth, and then each of those people will receive that notification saying this was submitted. Like it'll say subject new submission from form title, which would be contact form, and then this says all fields, so all of the fields like name, email, phone, all of that will be included within that notification email to all those people. And then this is from email. You could even put the basic, when you get emails from people like no reply at such and such.com, you can even put in whatever email you want in there. So once we have all of that figured out, that is all for the settings, and we have all of our fields the way we want it. We can preview it, or we can just go out to our page and put it in there and just see what it looks like. So let's go to our page, and we said we wanted it in this nice blank spot, which is going to be in this area. So if we're using our Visual Composer, we might want to refresh it so that it kind of goes back through and refreshes all of the forms that we've created. So we'll refresh that. We'll go back down to our blank spot, click on the plus, and we'll find the gravity form Visual Composer element. Click that, and then it'll give you a drop down list of different forms that you've created to insert into that area. And this is where they ask you, display form title, sure. Description, sure, we'll do that too. Save changes, update our page, and then let's go out to our page and check it out. Alright, so what we see here, it looks like we could use a little CSS work, because right now the fields are the same color as the background. So we could even go to our page, let's say we want this column to be like a little darker gray. So let's just kind of give it some background color, see how that looks. Maybe some padding, give it a little padding there, save it, update the page. Okay, then we'll go back out, see how that looks. Alright, so it pops out a little bit better now. And that is also, each of these fields can also be edited with CSS, so that is also an option. And these can also be stretched out. It's like if you see how it's half the screen, half the area, and we want that to be stretched out, that is also within the form. So if we go back to our form editor, and we'll find the email and the phone fields, go to email, and it's this appearance tab, and right now it's the medium sized. Now if you did small size, it would probably shrink it down to about 1/3 of the width of the entire area. So we want it to be large. We'll do large on that one. Go to phone, appearance, we'll do that large, update the form, go back out to our page, check it out, and it should have, yep, made it the same width as all the other fields. So that's just kind of the basic stuff that goes into Gravity Forms. It's, as you can see, it's very customizable. It's easy to, we can just get rid of this field, click the X, and bring in something else if we want like a drop-down list of stuff that they can do. That can be included also, but there's just a lot of different features to this. You can have a Captcha so that someone, it's just people have stuff that's set up where they can just keep filling your form out over and over and over again, and it's kind of like a spammy way that people get your attention. And you can set up a Captcha so that you see those forms that say, "Are you a robot?" something like that, and they have to fill that out. You can have a list, include a website, a date. So if you're setting up something where you want people to include a date, like maybe their birth date, or when would be the best time for you to call them, stuff like that. So that can be with the date, time, and then this address field is really handy because if you click address, it automatically puts in there everything you need for an address. So this is like the international, and if we just set that to United States, it would set it up, just the perfect way you want it, and you would just hit update form and it'd put it right in there. So that is the basic stuff for Gravity Forms. It's easy to use. There's a lot of features, and there's even more than this that is some advanced features, but that can get into some programming and some custom CSS work.